Hey Laura, how are you? I just want to go through the different wires here so you understand that, plus the Light Logic if you want to set it up on the Light Logic computer system that allows you to run it like an irrigation system with different zones. I'm going to explain all that in this video. Okay. So you've got the tree, the large trees. This is your driveway, right? There's your house. You get the large trees on either side of your driveway that we're going to light up as per the video I sent you. Okay, so there's like 5 or 6 lights for those large trees. That's one cable, possibly one zone. So each cable represents a different zone if you want to split up the zones. Okay, so this blue line represents the lighting for those trees. Okay, I'm going to run an extra wire in this zone, an extra wire that's not going to be connected to any transformers, just so in the future, if you want to have extra capacity and light up more trees on this side of the property, it makes it a little bit easier in the future. Okay, so then for the front of the house, we have 5 lights up lighting the house itself on the left side of the steps, and 2 lights on the right side of the steps, plus 2 lights uplighting the columns. Those 2 lights uplighting the columns, I did not put that within your written proposal, okay? But I'm just going to throw those in as a freebie, those 2 lights, because I want to make sure you guys are happy, and I thought it'd be a nice gesture, so that's what I'm doing, okay? So I'm going to put 1 light in the center of the 2 columns to the left side of the door, 1 light in the columns to the right side of the walkway, the white columns. So those would light up actually all 4 columns, because we're going to put the light right smack in the center of the 2 columns, and same thing, smack in the center of the other 2 columns, uplighting the white columns. Then we have 3 path lights, okay? So that gives us a total of 12 lights total. There's 7 on the house, 2 on the white columns, and 3 path lights. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 5 uplights in the house plus the 1 column light and put that on 1 wire. Then the other 6 lights is going to be the other wire. And that's on purpose because you can't put too many lights on 1 wire because you'll get something called voltage drop, where basically you lose power in the lights. All right. This also gives you the capacity in the future. If you re-landscape that area and you want to put a focal tree here and a focal tree there, you can uplight. You can uplight those 2 trees and not have to add an extra wire. So again, 6 lights and 6 lights on 2 separate wires for the front of the house. Okay. For the rear of the house, we have the 10 path lights running along the stairs from the house to the pool. That's going to be, again, 1 wire, possibly 1 zone. Okay, you're not really supposed to do too many more lights than that on 1 zone or one wire. Then around the pool is going to be a separate zone, including the Buddha light. Okay, so these lights around the path lights around the pool and the 1 well light for the Buddha is all going to be on one wire. Okay, then the Franklinia tree, the maple tree, and the other ornamental tree here, those 3 lights will be on a separate wire for the sole purpose is when you add more landscaping in the back, again, you can run more lights off this wire. Okay, then we have the 2 birch trees and the 3 uplights running along the big tall shade trees on this side. So that's 5 lights. That's going to be on 1 wire. But I'm also going to run an extra wire in the same trench along that side. Same thing, if you add more landscaping, it makes it a little easier in the future. So I'll run 2 wires in the same trench for that. And then for the lights, the 4 birch trees here and the 1 maple tree here, so that's 5 lights. That's going to be on 1 wire. But I'm going to run 1 extra wire in this trench as well. Just so, again, in the future, if you want to add more landscaping lights, then it'll make it easier to do in the future. Okay. So the deal with the Light Logic, the way that works, is to do that, you'd have to have each wire connected to its own separate transformer. All right. So depending on how many zones you want, each transformer represents each zone. So it's much, from a material cost perspective, it's way more expensive buying separate transformers than it is buying 1 transformer that feeds all the lights. All right, so that's one difference. Then the second difference is you have to mount each transformer to the house. All right, then you need to buy something called a power module for each transformer, and those are like $120, $130 each for just the power module for every separate transformer. Then you have the hookup inside the house and like the computer that basically connects to your Wi-Fi. It's a hardwired right to your modem inside your house. It acts as like a separate modem, which then allows you to control all the different transformers, or also known as zones. Okay, so for that reason, it becomes a lot more expensive once you start trying to zone out the system versus have it run off just one timetable. One thing to think about is that they're all low voltage lights or all LED lights, so I've never had a customer complain that it really raised their electrical bill. Okay, most people use it as security and they don't want to have to think about it, so they just have the lights all turn on at one time and turn off at one time. So you'll be the first person this year out of like 30 clients that wanted that. Not to say that it's a bad idea, it's just, again, it raises your cost. So it's more of a cost item than anything. But there is something to say about just having the ease of not worrying about it, just having it turn on and turn off. Okay. If you go with the Light Logic, you can run that off your phone. Okay. It's a Wi-Fi off your phone. And it allows you to set up each zone to turn on at different times and turn off at different times. And it also allows you from your phone to manually turn it on and manually turn off that specific zone. Okay, so that's kind of the thought process on the lighting. Just let me know, because it's going to take a few days to be able to actually get the hardware for the Light Logic if you decide to go down that route. So I think that's it. So any questions, give me a shout. I'm going to shoot this over to you via email now, and we'll take it from there. Thanks.